And now what we're going to do today is I'm going to take all of those voicings that we covered in part 1, and I'm going to show you how you can superimpose them to get 2 to 3 different types of chord qualities using the same voicing. Unfamiliar with what the term superimpose means, it's a really common technique used in jazz harmony and jazz improvisation. And basically what it means is that every chord voicing that we play could potentially have 2, 3, 4 different names depending on what you're thinking of as the root note. So there are a ton of different examples of this all throughout jazz. I find that one of the easiest ones to kind of just illustrate what it means to people is if you take this stock G major 7 voicing on the top 4 strings, 5, 4, 3, 2, fret-wise. So if we think of the root note of this as G, right, it's a G major 7 chord. However, if I keep these top 4 notes the same and I change the bass note to E, now it has a different sound. Now it has an E minor 9 sound. But I didn't change any of the notes on top. I didn't change this chord, right? All I changed was the point of reference, what I was thinking of as the root note. So thinking of the root note as E, all of a sudden now it gives these 4 notes a different context and a different sound based on the root note that we're viewing it as. Now moving on to our next one, the A major 7 voicing was A, G sharp, E, C sharp, so more of a spread voicing. So if we hear this one with F sharp on the bottom, it would sound like this. All right, I think that's a really nice voicing for a minor 9, definitely a little bit more unorthodox. Okay, the next one we have C sharp, G sharp, E, A. Now this one has some potential because we have this minor 9th interval right here between the G sharp and the A, which can create some interesting color, interesting clashing. Some people find that interval a little bit dissonant. So if we listen to that one against F sharp as an F sharp minor 9, it would sound like this. I think that's a pretty cool sound. So intervallically it's 5, 9, flatted 7th, and flatted 3rd. Okay. So not every single one of these I'm going to be able to also play a bass note in addition to the voicing. So the ones that I can play a bass note, I will, but the ones that I can't, I'm going to just play a recording of the voicing with a bass note underneath so you can see what they sound like. Okay, next one we have E, G sharp, C sharp, A. Now with F sharp in the bottom, it would sound like this. I like that a lot. So that would be flatted 7th, 9, 5, flatted 3rd. I like the way those intervals are assembled. Now I could get the B on the bottom if I use my thumb. So that's interesting. I think that's pretty nice. A little more of a modern sound. Obviously, we have that minor 9th interval between the 6th and the flatted 7th. But depending on the context, I think you could get some good use out of that voicing. Okay, the next one is going to be E, G, C, A. Against F, it would sound like this. Totally nice major 9 voicing. Intervallically, this one would be 7, 9, 5, 3. Okay, next we have E flat, A, G, C. With F on the bottom, it sounds like this. I love that. That's a great rootless F9 chord. Again, really close to this one. So you can substitute those for one another. Now C, I can get the C with my thumb. That's a great C minor 6, so I like that one as well. And I could also get the B on the bottom with my thumb. That's an amazing altered voicing. I love that. B7 sharp 5 flat 9. Okay, number 3, I tried to use a little bit more spread voicings, so now I'm doing another 2-5-1 to E major. This time I'm doing F sharp minor 9 with this spread voicing, and then B9, and then E major 9. And one thing that is often the case when you're superimposing chords, not every single one is always a home run. There are going to be some voicings throughout this that are kind of throwaways. They're not going to have a ton of use, but there's also going to be a lot of voicings that sound really great and will have some really great use. And hopefully by the end of this, you will have a nice handful of new voicings that you haven't used yet, and it will give you some new, really colorful harmonic territories to explore on the guitar.